Good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Now, friends, we live in a very dangerous world. The unthinkable could happen at any day now. When it does, get ready for massive food shortages to start quickly. That means a smart thing to do is prepare for the worst now. You need emergency food to get you through whatever happens next. That's why we highly recommend My Patriot Supply, America's largest emergency preparedness company. Act quickly and you'll save $150 off their essential 3-month emergency food kit, which contains an abundance of delicious food that provides more than 2,000 calories per day. You get breakfast, lunch, dinners, drinks, and snacks 3 whole months worth per person. This is something every American family will soon need. Your shipment will get there quickly in unmarked boxes for your privacy. Go to preparewithjericho.com and save $150 on every 3-month emergency food kit. But do it now. Go to preparewithjericho.com. Don't be a victim. Survive what's coming and avoid government food lines. Preparewithjericho.com. Now, I want you guys to do something. I want you, if you're living somewhere where it's still cold, like Minnesota, ooh, bummer. If you live somewhere where it's cold, or somewhere where I'm at, where today is going to be 93 degrees, whatever you need, whether it be your sunglasses, a jacket or something, your hat, whatever you use to leave the house, grab it. Let's go. Turn off the TV, turn off the lights, lock your doors. We're going to take a field trip, guys. Are you ready? Are you ready, class? We're going to take a field trip, and this field trip is called Memory Lane. That's right. We're going to take a trip down memory lane. Now, we're not going to go that far, so you don't need to bring too much. Pack light. But I remember we're going to go back to September of last year. Now, September of last year, what was going on other than Labor Day? I'll tell you. You remember these images. Close your eyes. I will paint a picture. I will do my best Norman Naylor impression. So, September 2021, we're all sitting at home at work, whatever we were doing, and then we were struck. We were blindsided by some of the most horrible images you've ever seen. Remember this. Those poor Haitians who were just coming here for what? A better life, guys. They were trying to get their Wyclef Jean on, okay? And then you see these horrible, terrible, evil, racist Border Patrol agents riding down on them on horseback. So these frightened Haitians scramble. They don't want to be hit. They don't want to be whipped. Side note, why were they holding on so tight to that damn takeout? We're all carrying plastic bags with these styrofoam takeout containers. What restaurant is that? Because they did not loosen their grip on that food. But we all remember the images of those poor, dark-skinned Haitians and those evil white men on horseback, whipping them. Yeah! Psh! Ah! The screams of pain, the fearful cries of children. It conjured images of what they did to the indigenous people and African Americans during slavery, to quote our vice president. These are horrible images. They were whipping these black people. How could they? You think to yourself, you know how? Because of Trump. Trump set this up. Trump created this environment where these Border Patrol agents thought nothing's going to happen to me if I whip that black son of a bitch. Right? Damn, Trump. He's not even in office anymore, and he's still causing trouble. So rightfully so, all of the blue check marks, all of the empty suit politicians, they come to the defense of these Haitians. How could you? This is racist. Something must be done. And you know who did something? You know who took up that mantle? Of course, Mr. 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue himself. Bidenus pervertus, our grandpa in chief. Hey, this isn't the mall. One fish, two fish. Him. He was on the case because he's not going to take that shit. He got into office to overturn and undo everything that Trump did. He was going to be the great uniter. He was the nice old guy. And he did. Biden got up there that very day and he said, and I quote, these people will pay. He said that there were people running around and families were there nearly being ran over by the horse, trampled underfoot. Well, you know what? I looked at some of these images because I said, no way that's happening in this country. I must see it myself. So I clicked on those images and I did the little this. You know, we all do that to zoom in, huh? So I zoomed in because there were some women in the background behind. I know our eyes are transfixed on those dark-skinned men being whipped, their flesh being torn by leather. But if you look in the background, there's a couple women, and those women are holding children. And those poor children have to see these images after the terrible trek they made from Brazil and other South American countries to come to this. So I zoomed in on the faces of those kids because I wanted to see the pain that Biden is perverted and Kamala, the Ugandan nightmare, the politician who went horizontal so her career could go vertical. I wanted to see the pain on their faces that they were talking about. And I looked. You know what I found, people? I found no pain. Those kids were looking like this. You know, kids. They weren't screaming. They weren't crying. Their eyes weren't big as saucers because of what they were seeing. You know why? Because they weren't seeing shit. Because all those men were doing on horseback were trying to corral people and send them back across the border. You can see the video footage of the guy on the horse saying, no, hey, go back. You think those Haitians listen? Maybe he needed to brush up on his French. Ha, ha, ha. But they were trying to send those people back. They weren't listening. They were breaking the law coming into our country illegally. So what happened to those Border Patrol agents? What happened to the men in those infamous images? I'll tell you, it was released yesterday that those men will not face any charges. That's right. There will be no criminal charges filed against those agents who were on horseback whipping those black Haitians. Because, of course, the Border Patrol is riddled with racists. And all they want to do is bring pain and terror upon these little brown and black people trying to cross our border. Nothing, no criminal charges. But here's the fucked up part. They might still lose their job. So if you didn't do anything wrong, why are you losing your job? Shame on the people who are in charge of the Border Patrol. With Border Patrol and Customs, is that what they call them? You guys are assholes. You should be coming to the aid of these agents and saving their jobs. Why are they being fired for not breaking the rules? And you know what you should have done, Biden? You liver-spotted, butterscotch pudding-eating son of a bitch who should be lakeside feeding ducks stale bread instead of trying to run this country into the ground. You know what you should have done? You should have said, there's going to be an investigation, but I'm going to give the Border Patrol the benefit of the doubt because this is not the type of activities that these Border Patrol agents traffic in. They don't do this. This is not our Border Patrol agent. We're going to get to the bottom of this. And if they did do something wrong, you best believe they'll pay the price. But as of right now, we don't know anything. We'll see what the investigation brings out or brings to light. But he didn't say that. He said these people will pay. He immediately got on the offensive against those Border Patrol agents. Come to find out, they did nothing wrong. There would be no criminal charges for something like that, for something they were talking about like that. And that quote that I read you about, or that I said about Kamala Harris, guess what she said that? On The View. Was that not the worst hour of television? Those worthless cackling bitches, and then you add the cackler of all cacklers? Kamala Harris? My goodness. How did you housewives watch that episode? You must have turned the sound off. But to say terrible things like that they were racist, that they were conjuring thoughts of slavery, that they were whipping people. Biden even went like this. He said people were being strapped. I guess that means hit with some kind of strap or whipped. He even went like that. They were whipping them. And they talked to the photographer who was there taking the picture, said nobody got fucking whipped. And if it was so horrible, why weren't those kids screaming and crying? Even the mothers, they didn't have no look of distress on their face. They were just looking. Where's the apology? When is Biden going to come out? When is Harris going to come out and say they're sorry and apologize for lying on those agents, for saying that they were whipping people? Hold on. No, nothing. I don't hear nothing yet. No apologies, written or spoken, nothing. If you talk shit and trash the Border Patrol, what does that do for morale when they go out and do their job and they're thrown under the bus by their superiors? Probably does what it does to the rest of law enforcement in this country. It has an adverse effect. It causes people to have a mass exodus from that line of work because you don't have their back. They don't make enough money to take that shit. They're going to put their life on the line and get shit on from the higher ups. I don't blame them if they throw their hands up and say, fuck this. I have a family member who's a Border Patrol agent. I should get in touch with him and see what morale's really like. I think I will. I'm going to shoot him a text message today. You're just making those people leave. You're making the borders unsafe. And then you're going to have to scrape so low in the bottom of the barrel to get people to replace them that you're going to have a lower quality agent. Why would they not want our border as safe as humanly possible? I guess unless they wanted someone or something to keep coming across the border. I think so, but that's just me. That's just my simple, publicly educated, taxpayer mind thinking. That's all. Don't worry about me. But they're not being criminally charged. They can still lose their job, and you guys aren't apologizing to them? What else do we need to know that these fuckers hate America? They don't like the America that we like. They want their version of America, where we get fucked over every day. And I don't like that. You work for me. I don't work for you. You make my life better. I'm not responsible for making yours better. But they forget that. But that's okay. There's a great reminder coming in November. And we must do that. We must remind them so bullshit like this doesn't happen. You remember all the shit going on about all the things they were saying? Oh, it turns out they didn't do that. Our bad. Everybody with eyeballs knew they weren't whipping no fucking Haitians. And you know what? Part of me wishes they did whip those Haitians for real. You know why? Because that's going to let the rest of the world know you bring your ass over here illegally, we're going to whoop your ass. You're going to get some marks. I don't have a problem with that, but that didn't happen. But even if it did, why are you coming to our border illegally? Whatever we do to you when you come here illegally is what happens. If you don't like it, don't come here illegally. Very simple. But I almost wish they did whoop their ass. Might as well. You might as well, because you're probably still going to lose your job. Ain't that some shit? So quick to trash these people and throw them under the bus, but no indication that they're going to apologize in any way. That's fucked up. That's who we got. 81 million of them, put them there, right? Yeah, right. Man, you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Utilize the Linktree link. Get your ass over to JerichoGreen.net. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.